If you're on the lookout for a great news show to help teach you about business, check out the Hustle Daily Show, brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business builders. The Hustle Daily Show is your daily dose of business, tech, news, and original stories to keep you in the loop on what's trending in business. Just like here, it's a daily podcast on which their team of writers break down the biggest business headlines in 10 minutes or less and explain why you should care about them. They'll also do deep dives on topics like a man who won the lottery 14 times and why it's nearly impossible to buy an original Bob Ross painting. I checked out a few episodes of the Hustle Daily Show, and to me, it was quick, educational, and feels like the perfect show to pair with OWD. So search for the Hustle Daily Show in your favorite podcast app, like the one you're using right now. You'll be glad you did.
This episode is brought to you by JLL. Get an insider view into the world of commercial real estate with JLL's podcast, Trends and Insights, the Future of Commercial Real Estate. Whether you're curious about making cities more sustainable, the evolution of office space, or AI opportunities, this podcast will help keep you a step ahead. Tune in for candid conversations with business leaders about the biggest trends impacting how we live, work, and play. Subscribe to Trends and Insights now at jll.com/podcast.
This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1231, 7 Steps to Prepare for a Potential Layoff, by Tania Brown of financialfinesse.com. And hey, I am Dan. I'm your host and narrator here, and we're going to get right to it today as we hear from Tania Brown and optimize your life. 7 Steps to Prepare for a Potential Layoff, by Tania Brown of financialfinesse.com. Of late, one of the biggest questions I've gotten from friends is, how do I prepare for a layoff? When I ask for the reason behind the question, they tell me of a friend or relative that recently got laid off, or worse, their company has had recent layoffs and has warned that there may be more. If you find yourself in this position, I'm sorry. A layoff, or even the possibility of a layoff, is scary. The good news is that there is a lot you can do in advance to prepare. Just get started ASAP. Number 1. Get your savings account fat. You may be aggressively attacking debt or saving for a vacation, but if you are facing the possibility of not having a paycheck, keeping a roof over your head and food on the table becomes your number 1 goal. You may need to temporarily pay the minimums on debt, cancel upcoming vacations, and focus all extra money on fattening your savings account. Best case, you don't get laid off and you can resume your plans. Worst case, you are in a better position to pay the bills while you look for work. The average length of time to find employment is just over 6 weeks. This can be shorter or much longer depending on your career, industry, and location. Start saving enough to cover at least 3 months of expenses, with 6 being a reasonable stretch goal. 2. Get your spending plan skinny. Trimming down your spending is the easiest way to create extra money that can go towards savings. Start with the things that you've had to go without during the shelter-in-place orders anyway. Gym memberships, entertainment expenses, dining out, and shopping. Create a basic needs budget to determine how much you need monthly to survive. This includes food, shelter, transportation, your creditors, and possibly childcare while interviewing for a job. 3. Prep your creditors. I have learned from experience that the earlier you contact your creditors about a hardship, the more likely they are to work with you if later you find yourself struggling to pay your bills. Even if you are paying your creditors on time, contact them to let them know about the potential layoff and ask about your options if you no longer have a paycheck. This would also be a great time to ask for a reduced interest rate. Most businesses are offering increased flexibility around hardship procedures during the pandemic, but those rules could revert back to previous rules by the time you are out of work. So be clear on how long certain provisions are in effect. Get the name of the department, oftentimes called the hardship department, you would need to call for help. Also, ask for their procedure. Do you have to write a hardship letter, produce a budget, etc. to get help? Then, if you do find yourself pinched, you already have a plan. 4. Understand your unemployment benefits. Read up on the qualifications for unemployment, which typically have to do with your lack of employment not being your fault. Each state has its own requirements, length of time you will receive benefits, and even benefit amounts. You can even estimate your potential payment. Knowing what you might receive can help you gauge how many months you can make it when you factor in your savings along with unemployment. 5. Suck every benefit out of your job before you leave. Missed your annual physical or dental checkup? Need glasses or contacts? While you are employed with a paycheck and an employer-subsidized healthcare plan, get every medical need taken care of if you're able. If possible, also find out how your health insurance will be covered during a layoff. Some employers will subsidize healthcare for a certain period of time, while others stop subsidizing on the last day of employment. You may also be offered COBRA, a continuation of your healthcare coverage at your expense. Know that you can use your HSA to pay for healthcare premiums when you are claiming unemployment. 6. Find out what happens to other benefits when you leave. If you have an outstanding 401k loan, find out how the loan is treated once you're laid off. Some employers allow you to keep paying, while others may give you a grace period, but require you to pay the balance rather quickly. If you're unable to repay the money within that period of time, the remaining balance is considered a withdrawal and could be fully taxable. In addition, if you're under the age of 59 and a half, you may have an additional 10% early withdrawal penalty. Make a plan to avoid this, if at all possible, by brushing up on the temporary rules for hardship withdrawals that could help you avoid the penalty and even taxes. If you have life insurance and/or a long-term care plan through a workplace, find out if you can take those benefits with you and how much they may cost, so you can factor that into your budget. And 7, clean house. Being laid off can be emotionally traumatizing. While you are in your right mind, get copies of key documents such as performance records or work samples. Get the contact information of potential references. Also, offer your information to fellow colleagues who may need to use you as a reference. It's also a good idea to find the contact information for payroll. You may have to request your W-2 or update your address if you move, and the best HR contact for former employment verification and benefits contacts. If your layoff is imminent, start removing your personal items from your workplace. I mentioned it before, but getting laid off can be a traumatic event. The more prepared you are for the layoff, the easier it will be to find a job, and the less impactful the layoff will be on your finances. A little bit of preparation can go a long way. You just listened to the post titled 7 Steps to Prepare for a Potential Layoff by Tania Brown of financialfinesse.com. You want consistency and quality, but you also want variety and freshness. If you run a business, you want it all. With nuts.com, you can get so many different delicious snacks and ingredients and know that they will consistently exceed your expectations. Nuts.com is your one-stop shop for the highest quality foods for business. They offer delicious office snacks, corporate gifts, and wholesale ingredients. And over 50,000 companies choose nuts.com for their business needs, from offices to hotels to restaurants and retail stores. And we've even loved their product as remote workers. Nuts.com has sent us plenty of snacks that keep us energized and focused so we can deliver the best work that we can. Nuts.com makes ordering for your business quick and easy. Right now, Nuts.com is offering new business customers a free gift with purchase and free shipping on orders of $125 or more at nuts.com/OWD. So go check out all the delicious options at nuts.com/OWD. You'll get that free gift and free shipping when you spend $125 or more. That's nuts.com/OWD. And thank you to Tania, who is passionate about educating others about money and providing independent, unbiased financial coaching to enable them to become more financially secure. She does this through one-on-one coaching and facilitating online courses, as well as through freelance writing, blogging, volunteering, speaking engagements, and regular media appearances. And as for the website, Financial Finesse, it helps employees maximize their compensation and utilize the benefits provided by companies. They've helped hundreds of thousands of employees change their lives. So for more from Financial Finesse, come by financialfinesse.com, and a big thank you to their entire team for letting us share their work. But that should do it for today. I appreciate you being here and listening all the way through, and I'll see you right back in this same spot tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.